Hello, children. Welcome back to your English class with me, Sir Ellis. In the previous classes, I have given you some works to do on your own, but this time I will be doing the explanation along with the slide. All right. So please pay attention, and our topic is subject verb agreement. Right. But before we begin, here are some grammar rules that I want you to know. Rule number 1 is subject and verb must agree with one another in number. Alright, in number means singular and plural. What's the meaning of singular? It means only one, and plural means more than one. Understand? If a subject is singular, its verb must also be singular. If subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. So this is the rule number 1. Right. The next is normal or general grammar. Singular means one and plural means more than one, and we add an s after the word. When we say plural in grammar, we add an s after the word. For example, let's see. Pick, or pick is singular, but if it's plural or more than one, we add an s, right? Like this. Picks, and pick is a noun. You all know a pig, right? So here, this is how it goes with noun. Understand? Singular and plural. But when it comes to verbs, the singular word or verb has an s, while the plural doesn't have an s. Alright, for example, let's see verbs here. See, the singular here has an s instead. If it's a noun, singular doesn't have an s, but when it comes to verbs, like kicks is a verb. Kick is a verb, but if it's going to be singular, we have an s. We put an s here. In a plural, we cut off the s. Alright, laughs also here, singular, but in plural verbs, laugh. Loves also singular verbs, but plural it's love. Bring also singular, it's brings. Understand? Verbs, but plural it's bring. Likewise, drink, bring, allow, comes, and there are many other more verbs, but when it comes to verbs, singular has an s, while plural doesn't have an s. It's the opposite with a noun. Understand? Please keep that in mind. And these singular and plural are the same with other verbs or words, right? And this is very, very important for this lesson, subject-verb agreement, right? For be or state verbs, we know what be or state verbs are, right? We can use the verbs like in present tense, I am a man, or I am a boy, I am a girl, like that. Am is the verb. Understand? State verb. We are. We and are. So we are in subject verb agreement. So if I say we am, it's not going to be correct. I mean, we have to use the right verb with any given subject. Right, we have to use the right verb with any given subject. Here, number one, I am. If I say I is, it's not correct. I are also it's not correct, but I am. Alright, that is how the subject and the verb agrees. Alright, in be or state verb here, we are and you are, he, she, it is. We cannot say it am or it are, but he, she, he is, she is, it is. All right. And here also they are. We cannot say they am because the subject and the verb don't agree with each other. We say they am. So it has to be they are. But in past tense, I was. I say I were. I is. Is that correct? I was. We were. You were. He, she, it was. She was, it was. They were. Understand? In past tense. Okay? Hope you understand. So let's try to form sentences here. We have one basic formula here. Subject plus verb plus object. Alright, this is one basic formula. Sometimes we can have only subject and verb, but here we are going to use subject, verb and object. Understand? So, John kicks the ball. John is the subject and it's singular. It's only one, right? John. And it's a noun as well. Kicks. Why do we use kicks? Why don't we say kick? Because John is singular and the verb also has to be singular. In singular verbs, we add s. Remember that. The ball is the object. Right, here we have a singular subject, John, which is a noun with a singular verb, kicks. If it's a kick, it will be a plural verb. Understand? Here, subject plus verb plus object. Again, let's see here. The players dribble the ball. The players. Is it a singular or plural if we say the players? Of course, it's a plural. Understand? Because there are more than one players. We don't say the player. The players. But the verb has to be plural as well. But in plural verb, we don't add s anymore. So the players dribble. Dribble is the plural verb. Understand? The ball. Here we have a plural subject, players, which is a noun with a plural verb. Dribble. Clear like that? Here we have a plural subject, players, which is a noun with a plural verb, dribble. Are we clear here? Here we have a subject called John, which is a singular noun. Alright, John is one, so it's singular. So here we have to use a singular verb with the singular subject. But in verbs, like I said, we have an S in a singular verb. Right? And for this, in the next, the players. Here, it's not, the subject is not singular anymore. It's plural. So we have to have a plural verb. But in plural verbs, we don't have S here anymore. So, players dribble the ball. But if it's a player, that means dribble will turn into what? Dribbles. Understand? If we cut off this S here, the player dribble. The player dribble the ball. that will be incorrect. But if we say the players dribble the ball, that's correct. Understand? So let's try it again. And we have one basic formula. Subject plus verb plus object. John and Andy. Here we have what? John and Andy, they are two. So the subject is plural. Understand? So that means we have to use what? Plural verb. But in plural verb, what did I say? We don't add S. Alright. John and Andy kick the ball. John and Andy, here they are the subjects. So it's plural and we have a plural verb again here. Kick without an S. Right. Here we have a plural subject, John and Andy, which are nouns with the plural verb kick. Plural verb here, kick. If we add S, it will be what? A singular verb. Understand? And subject plus verb plus object. Again, the player here now. Player, we don't have an S anymore. If we say the player, it's only one, so singular, and the verb also has to be singular. So what did I say? In plural verb, we have an S after the verb. Understand? It goes the opposite with the noun here. Now player. Player is a noun, but in the case of player, if it's going to be a plural, if we are going to use a plural subject here, it will be the players. Understand? But here we will use the plural verb with the plural subject, so it will be dribble. But in this case, the player is a singular subject, so we have to use a singular verb as well. But in singular verb, again, let me say we add an S. Alright. Here we have a singular subject, player, which is a noun with a singular verb, dribbles. Understand? Dribbles is it has an S here, so it's a singular verb. Remember that. Here, John kicks the ball. John is a singular subject and kicks is also a singular verb with an S. Here, the players. It's a plural subject, so the verb also has to be plural. But in plural verbs, we don't have an S. Right? So, it's quite easy if you listen carefully. Now, let's try to form sentences with pronouns as subjects. Formula is still the same. Here, before we begin with pronouns as subjects, let's take a look at the pronouns that we can use. Here, these are some personal pronouns. I think you have known this before, because I've given you as a lesson here, I've given you as a work, or I've given you as a homework to memorize this. First person, here, singular, I, we. Here we can use this as subjects. Alright. Singular I, we, first person, second person, singular you, plural you. And in third person, singular he, she, it, and plural they. These are the personal pronouns that we can use as subject of a sentence. All right. Am I clear now? Let's see. Subject plus verb plus object. Again. He jumps in the pool. He is a singular subject. So the verb also has to be singular. Understand? So in singular verbs, what do we add? We add an S in singular verb. Understand? But in singular subject, for the subject he, or let's say if it's a noun, let's say like pig. If it's going to be a plural, we add S, pigs, right? But instead in verbs, we add S in the singular, but in the plural, we do not have an S. We cut off the S. Understand? So that is why he jumps in the pool. She jumps in the pool. It jumps in the pool. If we say he jumped in the pool, that's incorrect. Or she jumped in the pool, that's incorrect. Jump in the pool, that's also incorrect. So that is why we have to use he jumps. So that is how the subject and the verb agrees with each other. Understand? Here we have a singular subject he, she, it, which is a pronoun with a singular verb. And here subject plus verb plus object. We drink wine. We don't say drinks anymore. If I say he, if we use he, drink will become what? Drinks, right? Because the subject is here. Subject here is he, and it's a singular. So if we are going to use a singular verb, we have to add an S here. But in this case, we have a plural subject. So the verb also has to be plural. That means a word without an S. Okay. We drink wine. Here we have plural subjects. We, which is a pronoun with a plural verb. Understand? So say we have just cracked the surface of subject-verb agreement. I hope you get some ideas from this lesson. What I want you to keep in mind from this lesson is plural verbs don't have S at the end, but singular verbs has S at the end of the word. Right? But singular verb has S at the end of the word. Here, kicks, singular, loves, all these singular verbs has S, right? While plural do not have, these plurals, they don't have S after the word. Understand? So that is the difference. It goes the opposite. Right? But if it's a noun, if we're going to turn a noun into a plural, we have to add S in the plural. But instead, in a verb, we have to cut off the S in a plural and we have to add an S in the singular word or the verb. Right, that's the difference. So please try to keep that in mind. Do you understand now? See, if you don't understand, you can always ask me. Right, I think I have made my points clear right now. It's not that hard. Just pay attention, and if you want, you can look back see. And but if you cannot understand, always open. Please call me, or you can simply ask me, or tell your parents to call me up and ask me that you don't understand. Right. And here I have used one, crack the surface. What is the meaning of crack the surface? See, in the simplest form, crack the surface means we are just beginning, or we have learned only one from many other more to learn. Right? We are just beginning. Crack the surface. Alright. So just remember that. Okay. So that is all for now. And I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.